So here with me, I have Leo with me from HRC. How are you doing
Yes,
today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Well, it's been a day. My neck it hurts, but
I get it. Trust me. I dealt with 23 first grades today, so I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's this is how I feel like I'm getting old. My birthday is next week, so it's like
Yes.
the age catching up. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yes,
I'm really
it's my
appreciating
pleasure.
it. And for the people who don't know what it's HRC, please can you tell them
Yes,
what's
I
HRC?
can. I love talking about HRC. So HRC, also known as the Human Rights Campaign, we are the largest LGBTQ plus civil rights organization. We are basically anything as pertains to the LGBTQ plus community, we are on the front line. If it's attack on trans rights, is there attack on transgender kids, if there's attack on gay rights, gay marriage, you name it, we're there. But not only do we do that, we also fight just civil rights in general. So like for example, like when Florida was doing a lot of the book bans and stuff like that, we were right there making sure that we were on the front line, letting them know like this is not going to happen. Kids need to have access to book regardless of the type of books. And of course they were attacking LGBTQ plus books, but you know, education is important. So we make sure that we are involved in everything that affects people, just liberties in order to live, regardless of how, who, or what, how they want to do it. So that's who we are. That's what we do.
And I know about you guys.
Yes.
I admire your guys' work. I've been in the gala this year.
Yes.
It was amazing, I need to
Yes.
say. And as a person who studied political science and criminal justice, I'm really involved in the politics. So what would you say currently? How is it working out? Because if I'm not mistaken, the current administration love attacking on everything what you guys standing for. Technically.
Yes. The current administration right now is not a friend of the Human Rights Campaign at all. And that's okay. You know, one of the things that we don't do is we don't back down. We are an organization that stand up for our rights, and we make sure that we're out there protecting the individuals who need our protection. You know, that's what we were founded on. We were founded on making sure that people in our community can live life just like anybody else. And regardless on who's in the White House, we're going to continue to do that. It doesn't matter. You know, one of the things that we pride ourselves is in, even though like we have a administration like we have today, we have a lot of allies that are also in Congress who are making sure that they're speaking up for us. A lot of our local congressmen and women definitely champion our rights on making sure that things that affecting our community are always at the forefront, and they never stop at that. So those are things that we put. So regardless on if we have an administration that we have today, or we have an administration that's friendly to us, we are always going to be there making sure that our issues are heard and that it's always on the forefront.
And what would you say, because I heard from some people who are not part of the LGBTQIA community or not part of any marginalized community. There's a couple of people there. And I heard it from a couple of people, in my experience. Their comments usually used to be like, well, you have everything. What are you still fighting for? Like, you probably you heard that a lot from the conservative. What would you tell to those people who just like, well, why is it still a big issue? Because people don't know the background.
Yeah, well, the reason why it's a big issue, because just like as we face today with the administration that we face today, those issues, those rights that we have can be taken away at a drop of a dime. So you can't never just be stagnant. You have to make sure that it's always on the forefront. And for those people who don't understand the fight that we deal with on a daily basis, you know, it's not just getting access to, you know, certain things, but it's like, for example, Brian White funding.
Yes.
You know, in this current administration, in a big, beautiful bill, they cut Ryan White funding. Huge, tremendous. And that affects not only the LGBTQ plus community, but also affects people who just are living with AIDS and are not a part of our community.
Yes.
Though that funding goes for so many people. It is not just fundings that's earmarked for, you know, people of the community.
And you don't have a gay card, you show up like, that's fine.
Like they and I think that's the misconception about a lot of the rights that we fight for. Anything that that we fight for that comes into existence benefits the larger whole.
Yes.
Because, for example, when we are fighting for funding for Ryan Wright, or we're fighting for funding for veterans that are LGBTQ plus, or we're fighting for Medicare or Medicaid, it is not just affecting the LGBTQ plus community. There are so many people that are out there who are benefiting from those things, but we just not going to sit down and say, oh, we're only going to fight for our issue, because that's not who we are. We are a community of all. We have allies who are straight. We have allies who are a part of all community, not just marginalized community. And that's the difference between the Human Rights Campaign and the other. Our issues are just not about us. Yes, we make sure that it's an issue that we are going to jump forward for an issue that's affecting the LGBTQ community, because that's who we are.
Yes.
But we know that not just our community are going to benefit from that. Everybody's going to benefit from it. Reproductive rights, we fight for that all the time.
Yes.
So, and, I mean, how many straight families are benefiting from us being out there fighting for that? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, like, a lot of times people don't see the things that we do and understand why we do what we do, because even though a lot of times our issues is focused and driven by LGBTQ plus rights, we are the Human Rights Campaign.
Yes.
The first word in our name is human. So anybody in this world will benefit from what we do.
Yeah, and for to your point, yeah, maybe some of the main issues what it's currently the Human Rights Campaign are fighting for.
Yes.
That's the LGBTQIA issues. But because they are attacked more.
Exactly.
That's what people need to understand.
Yes, exactly.
That it's not just for us, but those are the most attacking points for the
it is the, what's the word I want to say? It's like the hot ticket item that's for any political opponent right now.
Yes.
You know, and mainly trans rights and the trans issue. Like that is it's like that's the one to get everybody riled up. Why? I don't know. When the trans community make a 1%,
1%, yeah, that's
1% of the community. So why are they constantly attacking my brothers and sisters? Let them live. Let them be. They're just trying to live a normal life like anybody else.
And for me, it's a little bit funny because studying political science has been really. I love politics since I was a kid. It's really interesting that it's right now. It's the conservatives are. Yeah. It's like, let's attack a marginalized community like the trans people, and just say, well, the government gonna tell you what you can do. What happened with the Republican Party, who said, I don't want to be in the people's life? Because that's not the same Republican Party what was before.
Republican Party was truly about small government.
Yes.
They've never been a big government person.
And they are the one who want to get involved in everybody's life.
Exactly. Wow, my eyes has heard and things have changed.
Yeah, it is
crazy. Yes, it is.
And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if you know exactly, but I think last time when I checked it out and I looked it up, every year it's multiple thousands of legislations try to pass through by the House for anti-LGBTQIA legislations, but never get to the House. Yes. But they try.
Yes.
And those are the things that people don't know. That it's not like nobody's trying to take our rights away. It's happening constantly.
It's happening consistently. But, you know, I will say, I think we have built enough allies in Congress to keep that from happening. Because we do have people who are working tirelessly, effortlessly, every single day to make sure that we are protected, because they see us as humans.
Yes.
They see us as any other individual. We are not some disease that people try to make it seem as if. We are not that. We are just regular people who live regular lives, who just trying to make a regular impact. That's it.
And that's the fun point that, like you just said, like we have allies inside Congress and the House to make sure that these ones are not happening. But to get to those allies, that's where HRC comes in. Like without the work, what you guys putting effort to that.
Yeah. So
these administrations don't need to follow. These Congress people were like, well, I don't care if it's not had me reelect.
Exactly.
But the pressure.
Yes. And you know, HRC. And one of the things that, you know, one of the things that we do is twice a year, HRC, we do a big conference in DC where our headquarters is located. one in the fall and one in the spring. During both of those conferences, we do what we call a day at Congress. So we literally go to Congress and we talk to all our Congress individuals from every state that's represented at that day. And we make sure that we let them know, like, stay on the forefront. You know, that's just a little of what we do. But not only that, we also do endorsements. Those endorsements from HRC are endorsements to candidates who are equality candidates. That means those candidates are going to consistently fight for us. And HRC puts the money behind our actions. We are a firm believer in making sure that we are out there getting people in office who needs to be in office, but not only that, we're making sure that we support them financially. And we show up. We will get out and door knock. We will do whatever is necessary to make sure those pro-equality candidates are elected.
And I personally super grateful for it because I admire HRC work. And as a representative of Pride, I do want to say that even Pride, we really appreciate it because our working together.
Yes, our partnership.
That's the word I was looking for.
Our partnership, yes.
It's my second language. Sorry,
yes. It's okay.
Don't blame me.
Partner. One of the things I love is the partnership that HRC and Pride here in Las Vegas have. It's a partnership that has grown over the years, and we at HRC value that partnership because, once again, HRC runs off of membership, and this year for Pride, so make sure y'all come on out to Pride this year. We got the festival and the parade show up and showing numbers. Like the partnership that we have built, with Pride helps benefit our membership base. HRC we have a national campaign that we launched this year, and it's called National Storytelling. And what we're doing is we're reaching out to, we want 1 million people to tell their stories and how it doesn't matter. You don't have to be gay. You can be gay, straight. If you have been impacted by an ally or whatever, if you have been impacted by this political climate, then you need to tell your stories. And it's important because storytelling is one of the most effective ways to get things done. So we have launched a national campaign on doing that. We want people to come and tell their stories. So one of the things that we will be doing on National Coming Out Day on the 11th, we will be at the Pride event, and we will be having a booth. We will have a booth there for people to come up and talk and tell their stories. And think about it, it's like a lot of people are scared to tell their stories. I was one of those people at one point in time in my life. And I feel that it's important that we share the things that we've done, the things that we've been through, because you never know that someone else may have either going through or been through the same thing, and that may connect, and it may bring them into the fold, because we need everybody out here fighting. We need everybody out here raising their voice. We need everybody out here speaking truth to power, because if we don't, then we are not going to get anything changed.
Yes, and that's exactly for telling your story. That's how I felt, because this year when I was featured in a magazine as featured Mr. Las Vegas Pride.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was really hard to tell the story because from Hungary, I'm sure you guys know that. HRC know the story from Hungary, how anti-gay legislations are going on since centuries. So for me to tell the stories took time to get to the level when I was able to share something like that, because it felt so personal. But since then, I did get back some feedback from people. It's like, oh my God, I never knew that about you. And that was so moving. I'm so glad you shared us. Let me show it to my friend who is feeling the same way, because that person is from a country where it's unacceptable. And now he's trying to be free here, but it's still all of that news, what is happening right now, and getting the hate from the administration. It's so hard for some people to come out and tell those stories. So the storytelling, it's amazing. I wish we have the little board, because I wanted to have the American dream board.
Trust me, I was trying. Because the campaign is still going, we won't have the board, but I got some goodies coming that we still be able to use that's still highlighted. Yes, because it's important, but that's all right. So if you want to tell your story, again, you can come up to our booth at the event. We will also be at the festival, and we have the little social media thing that you can put on there. So even though you might not have the one, we still have ways of making it possible. There's gonna be everything there. But back to what you were saying about you telling your story, and that's the thing, because I get it. I'm a black man, a black gay man who grew up in the South. I grew up in South Carolina, in the country. It was not easy. I didn't really come out, honestly, until I was 40 years old. And that's when I finally came out. My daughter was like the last person I had to come out to, you know. And growing up, we have been conditioned to be certain ways. And if you don't fit in that specific box, it is really hard to just live your truth and live in authenticity. You know, but I told myself, I said, in order for me to make an impact on the lives that I want to impact, I got to make sure that I am truthful with not only self, but those who are around me, and being authentic and showing up as my authentic self. And it was hard. It was really hard. And every day is a battle and it's a struggle. But every day I learned that, you know, being who you are is freeing. You know what I mean? It's like the one thing that nobody can take away from you. People can take your rights away. People can take your money. They can take all stuff. But you being authentically yourself, nobody can ever take that away from you. And that's what was important for me. And that's why I tell people, and I make sure I take the opportunity to let people know, just be who you are. Because those who love you won't care. And those who mind, you don't need them in your life in the first place.
Exactly.
So, and that's what it is. And that's something I had to realize. And it was hard. It took time, but with every challenge, it will always take time to get over. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad you were able to share your story. And yes, you need to continue to share your story, because again, just like that helped one person, it's going to help somebody else. And then that person will help somebody, because they'll start telling their story. It's the little things. It's like a ripple in a pond. You know how it starts when you throw the pebble in and it starts small, but then that ripple just continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So it takes is one little drop.
And I'm so grateful for you guys to do this. Like, I was really impressed when I was in the gala and I saw the amount of people who were like taking pictures with it.
I think this was our largest gala since I've been involved. Like, it was packed. It was a packed house.
It was packed.
Yes. And the gala's always fun. Like, our gala's always fun. It's a really good time. The gala this year was amazing. And this year was the first year that we actually had a theme. You know, our theme was seersuckers and sundresses. So, and it was different because, and this is the first time, and Las Vegas was the first community to ever have a theme. And it was amazing because all of the other communities were like, y'all did it this year. Like, our gala was amazing. And actually our performer, the young man who performed at our gala, he performed in nationals. So because I was at the national gala as well this year, and that was also amazing. But yeah, it was an amazing time. Our galas are always a good time.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the gala, and I really enjoyed because for another reason, like, as being part of Pride, we can't do so much. We can't cross a line because we are a non-profit organization. So we can't politicize that much of our views. But in the gala, it was felt so good because our partnership and seeing the governor speaking, not the governor, mayor. We had the mayor speaking. We have House of Congress speaking, and it was amazing. That was when I was like, I love that. I love to see those representatives.
And that's the thing about HRC, because we are two prongs. We have a C4 and a C3, so we can be political. And we can do our nonprofit work as well. You know, and a lot of people don't even realize that HRC has both. You know, we do have a C4, which is our political side. So we do a PAC. We definitely, you know, like I said earlier, we support, you know, elected officials, you know, by helping them get elected and financially support them. But we also have a C3 side. And our C3 side is our nonprofit side. And our nonprofit side, we do a lot of things. We have a few programs that are really essential to what we do as an organization. One of them that I'm very passionate about is called Welcoming Schools. And what our Welcoming School program basically is, we go in schools and teach teachers, administrators, how to be, I don't want to say empathetic or sympathetic, but how to handle those issues when they have students who identify as part of the community. And the goal is to, because like a lot of times, especially when you get into like your elementary grades, nowadays students are starting to come out really early.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it becomes situation because you have to deal with families, you have to deal with, you know, certain type of legal stuff. So what HRC do is we come in and we teach and train teachers and administrators on how to handle those issues. And then not only that, we become partners with that school. You know, we become a partner. So if that school need resources. So for example, they may have a student who end up saying, hey, I'm transitioning, and these are the things that I need. So we can come in and help them to make sure they're able to service that student properly. That's one of the things that we do. We also have a lot of affinity groups that focus in, because again, HRC is about representation for all. So we make sure all of that is represented. And then we do stuff for the elderly. We have vets. We do so we cover all the community with a lot of our C3 stuff.
And those are the amazing things.
Yeah.
People don't know about. I needed to learn about it too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm honestly about it. For me, the beginning was the same thing. Human rights campaign. 90% gay.
Yes.
And once I looked after it, I looked at the programs you guys do. I was like, oh my God, that's affecting a lot more people than people can think about it. And to that program, I do have a question about it. And I mentioned it. How is it right now? How is it to deal with schools when schools getting backlashes from one side they hear from the administration that you need to stop this, you cannot stop this, but on another side there are you guys and programs like what you guys provide, but it's like, you guys can do this, let us help you how to do this in a more normal way. Yeah, so
what we do is a lot of times when it comes down to a situation like that, we don't force anything on any school. So if a school reach out to us, what we do is we put out information. So schools can reach out to us, and then we will send people in. And we're not going to go into a school just arbitrarily. No, that's not what we do. No, so schools reach out to us and ask us for assistance, and then that's when we go in and do the training and stuff like that. So schools have to directly reach out to us. And yes, in this climate now, especially with the anti-DEI, a lot of times schools are hesitant.
Yes.
And in a situation like that, we tread lightly. We make sure that we are not trying to get anybody in trouble. We don't overreach or overstep. We meet schools where they need us to meet them at, and that's what we do.
Yes.
We're about making sure that people get the service that they need and being able to be a resource.
That's amazing. I do need to say that it's listening to the news constantly and getting that only the negative, because news channel love putting out the negative part, because then you can get viewers. But as a regular person, lots of people don't know that just because the news, the administration are painting the negative side, these programs are still available. The schools are still using it. So there is a fight back against it. But it's not in the national news way fighting back. It's in the local way.
It's in your local areas and stuff like that. For example, like myself, I'm in education. So I am making sure that I show up for students if necessary. And that's how it is. Your local steering committees are there for, local schools and stuff like that. Because again, with the way things are, especially with this administration, we don't want to rock the boat. We don't want schools to lose funding because they're trying to make sure they're taking care of a student when that's our job.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And those are the things that we try to make sure that we're just there. And it may be just in representation. I make sure that I am very vigilant and I show up for my students, and I will always show up for my students. I will show up for any parent who need me to show up for them if they have questions and stuff like that. And that's my job. Not just as a person who represents HRC, but as a teacher, as an educator. That's what I do. That's why I decided to go into this career, is to be able to be there for my students.
Yeah, and my brother was in that same situation, kind of. So my brother's professor was amazing. He was a really good student in elementary school. And he was an openly gay person, married, and they had so much resources. I'm sure they worked somehow with you guys for sure, because he was a big advocate for it. But he came home, and I remember he was probably in that 12, 13 years old. And he heard about all the sexualities in school. He was a little bit from the teacher, and he came home and he's like, well, I know you are, because I always told him I'm gay since I probably can remember. He was like, my brother is gay, but he didn't understand it. And he understood it better. And after he came home and he's like, can we talk? And I was like, yeah. So we sit down and talk. And people need to understand, in my experience, and probably that's 99%, everybody's listening. When these kids come home and they learn about gay people and the LGBTQI community, that understanding, it's not what you think of. Like they come home and my brother was like, so you gay because you love another man? And I was like, yes, that's exactly what's the part of it. It's nothing to do with the sexuality part. Like I understand that the Republicans try to push that agenda that, oh, you're doctorating in the sex. No, it's about love. What is love is. And these are the things that people need to understand, that it's not doctorating the children. It's explaining that people can love someone without being feared. And thank you so much for all of the support for the schools to do this, like understanding how to talk with their kids. Because about it.
I think at the end of the day, education is important.
Yes.
Most
important.
It is so important that people truly educate themselves on everything. I think a lot of times we get caught up on what we see on television and what's being put out there in social media and stuff like that. So it's important that we do our own research and we educate and learn for ourselves. It is so important. Knowledge is one thing that nobody can ever take away from you.
Yes.
And the more we know, the better we are as people. And I think a lot of times, people sexualize being homosexuality so much.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That they fail to miss a huge piece, that we are still regular people. We just love the same gender in a sense. And there's nothing wrong with that. You love who you want.
Yes.
It shouldn't matter. And I think that's another reason why our allies are so important.
Yes.
It is so important for us to have those allies because they get it. Our allies get it. And I appreciate all of my allies. Thank you all for showing up and supporting us, because it is so important, because a lot of times allies can get in spaces that we may not be able to get into, and they can speak up and educate those individuals who are not educated.
Yes.
And that is so important. That's why if you support our community, please come out and support us. Show up. You know what? I think the worst thing anybody could ever do is be complacent.
Yes.
Complacency is the laziest thing anybody could ever do. If you feel that something isn't right, you should speak up. If you see that something isn't right, you should speak up.
And do it till you can.
Yes.
From experience. Because from Hungary, just a fast story there for that, it was the leading democracy with one of the leading LGBTQIA rights before the current president was elected, the current prime minister and the party was elected 14 years ago. It was one of the leading country in Europe with LGBTQIA rights, for democracy, for human rights. And we changed the administration because money was more important than human rights. And people got silent because they were like, well, they said money, but I don't need to worry about human rights, because why would I? I'm just worried about my pocket. And they stayed silent so long that currently we can't change him. He changed the constitution. It's an authoritarian regime. It's a fascist country, and there is no way to get out of it.
Wow.
So there is no LGBTQI rights. Pride was banned this year. People still showed up, but that was a protest against it. Pride are banned. The constitution say that a couple is identified as a man and a woman to make sure that gay people cannot marry or cannot adopt children. And they were categorizing gay people in the same level as pedophiles.
Wow.
That's what happened in Hungary, just to make sure everyone. And that's happened in 12 years. Going from a country that was accepting, one of the most accepting country in Europe, to all the way back. So it can happen anytime. So if you stay silent, and if you are not showing up, not just showing that I'm here for you. When you hear all of this craziness coming from this administration, this can lead to a path, but there is a chance that we cannot change it anymore after that. There is dangers in here, and we need to understand it.
And I think people need to look at it in, today is an attack on the LGBTQ community and the Latino community. Tomorrow, it can be an attack on me as a black man. You know what I'm saying? That people got to understand that the Civil Rights Act wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, exactly.
It was not that long ago. And that's what people need to understand. We cannot sit by and allow people to just automatically go against our Constitution. The Constitution was put as the law of the land for a reason.
Yes.
And we can't allow people just willy-nilly change it when they want to. You know, and I think a lot of people sit silently, but let me tell you, it is not, it just like you said, it only happened it took 5 years in Hungary.
Yeah, 5 years and we went too crazy. Went from
we still in year one of Trump.
And we already pushing the limit there in a year and a half. So here, let's not even a year. So make sure that you raise your voice. Make sure that you go out. Make sure that if you see something, even everyday project, that's what I'm trying to live up to, and that's what I'm telling all the listeners too, because I know I do that. If you go out and in everyday situations you see somebody getting bullied, somebody getting picked on because of their color or their sexuality, stand up.
Yes.
It's your job too. As an ally, as a person who is recognized in the LGBTQIA community, it's your job too. Those are your brothers and sisters, and technically everybody is your brothers and sisters in this country.
And nothing is too small. I think a lot of times we let the small little minute things just go. No, nothing is never too small. And I think that's what we need to focus on. Like a lot of times we focus on the big issues.
Always.
No, let's focus on those small issues. Multiple small issues can become big issues.
Yes.
So if we focus on the small one and eliminate them before they become big issues, we can tackle stuff. And I don't think we need, just like you said, speaking up is important. Don't be complacent. We cannot afford to be complacent. It only took 5 years in Hungary for it to go back into like ice age in a sense. You know what I'm saying? You know, so we don't want that to happen here. You know, democracy is important. Having your voice and having your freedoms isn't so important, and we got to make sure that we don't allow that to happen.
Yes, here. And like the Human Rights Commission, right too. Yes, we are representing the LGBTQIA community, but promise you, if would something happen like we did when Women's Rights was, we stand up and we were there for you, just like HRC would do it. If it's anybody because of their skin color, we would stand up and we would there for you. Anybody who is Latino and because of their immigration status, we are gonna stand up for you too. Yeah. Because just because you're not identified in the umbrella of term of LGBTQIA+, pride is representing a family, a feeling that we are loving everyone who they are. And if that's including because you are an immigrant or because your skin color is not right, then we gotta stand up for you. Because maybe that it's like you said, it's attacking on us, but it can be you. It can be another thing. And eventually it's gonna be just because you are Jewish, and we go back to Second World War Nazi Germany version. Let's be clear about things here.
And you know, and I think, you know, that's one of the things I love about the new inclusive flag is because all the colors, it's not just the colors of the rainbow anymore. You got pink in there, you got blue in there, you got white in there, you got brown in there, you got black in there. It's all inclusive of everyone. So you don't have to be a member of the LGBTQ+IA community to be represented, because we are all inclusive. We love everyone. Just like you said, we are a family, and that's what it's about. So everybody's my brother, sister, cousin. We all together. Like, and we just make it happen.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what's important. I think that's what a lot of people fail to understand or fail to get. Like, we don't keep nobody out.
Yeah, and to make sure to some listeners who, maybe there's some listeners who are Republican and they just want to listen in. I would be surprised, but
they should.
That could happen.
Yes, they should.
Could happen. Just because HRC and Pride, we are fighting for equal rights, it don't mean more. Mm-hmm. Just because we have the same as you, you don't have less.
No.
And you need to understand that.
Yes.
That it's not taking away from you.
No.
If you don't believe gay marriage, don't get one. If
exactly.
you don't
exactly, simple as that.
If you don't like gay people, don't meet with them. We don't ask you to like us. No. We only ask you to accept us and let us have the same rights as you have. Yeah. Because we are all humans, and under the Constitution, we are the people. And yes. Every people in the United States have the same equal rights. Doesn't matter where they come from, what's their sexuality, what's their skin color. And that's all our mission is. Not to indoctrinate some people that we want more. We don't want more. We want the same as you have. Exactly. That's all we want.
That's it.
And we're going to leave you alone because we don't care what you do.
We don't.
That's another thing.
We don't.
Be married to your church.
Yes.
Fine. Believe in God. Sure. Don't get an abortion because you believe it. We are for you.
Yeah.
Your choice. Let us have our choice and leave us alone. Yeah. That's all.
That's all we ask every day is just let us be. We don't bother you. Don't bother us. That's all.
We don't taking away anything from you because we're living our life how we want to live our life.
We want you to live your life how you feel, and we want you to allow us to live our life how we feel. And that's all it is. It's a sign of respect.
Yes.
Respect me, I respect you.
And I would tell you, and I would promise every listeners, if the next administration, let's say after this, the next administration would be like, we're gonna ban churches, we're gonna attack Christianity, exactly. And we're gonna attack Christians, and you cannot practice your belief. Mm-hmm. We would stand up for you.
Yes.
We would be the first online who say no.
Exactly.
Because we are for everyone. And I'm sure the Human Rights Campaign would be in the front line with that one.
Because at the end of the day, we are about human rights.
Yes.
And people should be able to do what they want, say what they want, live how they want, practice whatever religious they want, yes. And not have to worry about anybody telling them they can't. And that's what we have to understand. Stop trying to force what you believe on everybody else. Let people be.
Yes. And we're gonna respect you. And
yes.
If you are under the chopping block, anytime, we're gonna be there for you. We don't care that you are not here right now, but we will fight, even for your rights. So, for getting close to the end, if somebody would like to join HRC, yes. What are the opportunities here for you?
There are always opportunities to join HRC. So HRC is a membership-based organization. So if you want to become a member of HRC, it requires $5. And it's a $5 a year membership. And you can do that in a number of ways. One thing about HRC is like, you don't just have to pay us $5. You can buy a merch, a piece of merch, a hat, a shirt, and you automatically become a member. You know, another way, which is even clever, come to Pride this year. It's automatically included in your Pride ticket. So if you want to become a member of HRC, you can start with coming to Pride. You can come to the Rainbow Rave. All your membership is already included in that.
Yes.
But if you don't come to Pride or want to come to the Rainbow Rave and you want to become a member of HRC, you can go to hrc.org and you can become a member anytime you want.
We're gonna put it on the comment section, the link, so you guys can see.
Yeah, and that's the way. But definitely come to Pride because Pride is where it's happening. Okay, it starts with the parade on October 10th, which is Friday night. Come out to the parade downtown for Las Vegas. It's an amazing time. We have a good time. And then it goes into Saturday the 11th for National Coming Out Day. Again, HRC will have a booth, so come and take a picture, tell your story, and join the Million Voices in our national storytelling campaign. But also tell your coming out story. Tell people how you decided to come out. But again, join us at Pride. You gotta join us at Pride.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yes, it is. It's gonna be, Pride is always a good time.
Yeah.
So.
And after the 11th, you can tell the story and come to party with the DJs. Like,
exactly.
We're going to do a huge party then.
A huge party. And if you can't make it on the 11th, then join us on the 18th, because then we have our festival, the Pride Festival, and HRC will be there. We will be the very first booth you walk into when you come to the Pride Festival on October 18th. So it's going to be a good time.
I can't wait. And thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Again, I love talking about HRC. You know, serving on our local steering committee as one of the tri-chairs of our steering committee, but also serving as our on the National Board of Governors. You know, HRC is my family, and I believe that, you know, since being a part of HRC, not only was I able to find my voice, you know, I think my voice have been elevated and echoed out there. And I'm not going to stop, because I have a daughter, and I want to make sure that she's able to live in a world that she can love who she want to love. She can do what she want to do, and there's no restriction. And as long as I'm alive, I will always be a part of HRC, making sure I'm fighting for the rights of her and all those like her.
And that's the most important, fighting for the future.
Exactly.
For my younger generation, like my brother, eventually, hopefully my kids, if I ever get to that level, but to the younger generations, to make sure that they have a more secure, more free, more proud lifestyle, and they don't need to fight these fights.
Exactly.
Because it's going to be automatic. So that's the work here. We have a work ahead of us.
We do. You know, but
never stop.
Yeah, and then the thing about it is, like, I look at it as, like, my forefathers before me, you know, the Civil Rights Act and the Civil Rights Movement, like, they was able to get us to this point. So we got to take it to the next level. And then the generation after us, you know, when we become old and sitting down there, the generation after us, they can make sure it stays. And we're going to make it happen.
We're going to make it happen.
And that's how it goes. So, yeah.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I hope I can talk to you guys eventually again.
Yes.
For sure.
Let me know. I'm here. I like to talk, as you can tell.
We don't have an issue here with the talking. But and don't forget to subscribe, like our videos, and see you guys next week.
See you.
Bye.